This video has been a long time coming, and this is essentially Mech Fans Toys Ultrl Mgenus, but in a retail packaging. Not 100% sure if, because some people have said that this is a knockoff of Mech Fans Toys, but a lot of people have also been saying that this is a retail packaging of Mech Fans Toys Ultrl Mgenus. And now, as you can see, there's a Mech Fans Toys logo there, and it's essentially the same toy with some paint differences. As you can see there, it's that you see his robot and vehicle form. There's a little bit of text. You can see the weapons and alt and bot modes there in the back, and you have the Ultra Magnus art here. As you can see, it's very much a different packaging from what we've seen with Mech Fans Toys before, because like I said, this is what is found in retail stores in Asia. So let's go ahead and show you what it looks like when open, because I actually already have him open. Ta-da! There you go. So if you already have Ultrl Mgenus or Iron Factory 1.0 Ultra Magnus, you'd pretty much know what to expect. This is essentially the same figure, just repackaged. But for those who have Ultra Magnus from Iron Factory or Mech Fans Toys, this is essentially the same figure from Mech Fans Toys, just in a different packaging. Now, you'll notice that there's some paint differences, like for example, this particularly has red thighs. Now, certain versions of the Mech Fans Toys 1.0 version in the regular box also has red thighs, if I'm not mistaken. But they released this in several versions, some with white thighs, some with lighter blue color. But just for this release, it's essentially royal blue and red. Let's take a look at the quality here. The plastic quality is pretty much the same as you would expect from Mech Fans Toys or really any KO company before. It's just regular plastic. I wouldn't say it's low quality, to be honest. It's okay. I feel like it's a little harder plastic than what Hasbro uses, so points for that. And there's actually a lot in terms of paint work. Let's talk about that. So it's got painted ears. Now there are versions without painted ears, so you might want to watch out for those. And also painted face. You will see a little bit of paint work in the eyes as well. He has light blue eyes. As you can see. Alright, and then some paint work here on the chest section as well. Silver details. Silver wheels here. This section is not painted. This is solid plastic. Now, red details here. Now, there's a little bit of paint bleed. And you'll notice later on the cab section, I'll show you that there's still a lot more paint work. Now, let's talk about the articulation. Now, the missiles are articulated because they're removable. The missiles themselves are not removable. There's ball joint head. It's actually a little loose. It's looser than I'd like it to be. And then ball joint shoulders, and then your standard arm bend, and then you have swivel here and rotating fists, and also you have a little bit of an assembly here, ball joint hips and a swivel on a mushroom peg. And then you have your standard knee articulation. It actually goes farther than intended if you pull on it too much because of the transformation, but that's just your standard knee bend, really. There are kind of ankle rockers because this whole assembly is on a ball joint. So it is a literal rocker, like you can literally rock it any which way. So there, you can it's really got some pretty commanding poses, to be honest. I like this figure a lot in terms of articulation and everything. So as you can see here, this is a little bit of more of a comic-inspired Ultra Magnus, whereas the Mech Fans 2.0, Mech Fans Toys 2.0 version is more of the G1 cartoon version. It's a lot bulkier, the first version. and a lot taller, but essentially they're still both Legends class figures. Here's how they both look with the Legends scale Optimus Prime. So that's essentially how that looks in terms of scale. Both of them are, all of these guys are essentially Legends figures, and we are going to take a look at how this guy uses his weapons as well. So he has two weapons essentially. One is your standard blaster right here. This is on a 5mm port, and you have the Magnus hammer. Now the thing is, he has this arm guard here that prevents him from holding anything long, but if you want to give him the Magnus hammer, pretty much all you need to do is take this section and then fold it in like that. Now the thing is, it doesn't fold as nicely as it should, to be honest with you. It doesn't fold in as neatly as it should, and honestly it's a little weird because the hammer is you know, you'd hit whatever he's trying to hit first with this arm guard rather than hit it with the hammer. So that's something that I don't necessarily like about this figure, but in terms of looks, it's pretty great. I mean, it's got the hammer thing down, so that's pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and transform this Ultra Magnus figure real quick. I'm gonna take out these things right here. By the way, you'd want to remove this section from the hammer as well, because this will become part of the alt mode. Okay, so just leave that like that. Actually, you can just unfold it like this. That's what it'll look like later. Remove his gun and remove the missiles. So I usually start my Ultra Magnus transformations with the legs because those are the easiest. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take these two legs and pull them down like this. Pull them down all the way, and there you have them. Okay, so that's essentially it. You don't have to do much with the legs, you just need to tab them together. Now once you've done that, you're essentially done with that section. You just need to flip these parts out. And those are your wheel assemblies. You'll notice that the wheels are actually painted black, which is super nice. They don't roll, but at least, you know, they're there. Okay. So I'm going to also now take this whole arm assembly. It's a little like the original toy, but also a little different. I'll show you in a bit. But it's a pretty simple transformation. You just swing those out, and then tab these together. See those pegs? You just tab those together, and you're essentially done with that section. Very easy. There's actually not a lot of difficulty with this toy. And then flip this around, and then you see those pegs. Slot them into those holes. It takes a little bit of pressure. There you go. And this section, just close it. And you'll see that there's actually paint on the windshields and on the headlights and on the grille as well. And yeah, there you go. So what do we do with this? You just basically bring this together by accordioning the legs like so, and then matching up these pegs onto these notches. Okay, so again, put those pegs onto those notches, and then you should just kind of lay it flat on the floor there, and then peg these hands onto those pegs just for stability, and then align them just like so. Those came off, but that's fine. Align them like that. Make sure they're still pegged together. And there you have most of it. We're not done. Remember, we took out the hammer section from the hammer itself, and we're going to now place it here. There are pegs on the sides which go into these two grooves here. Slide them in, and you have now essentially completed the alt mode. As you can see, very nice. Now if I were to compare this to a legend size figure, here is a legend scale Optimus Prime for comparison. As you can see, that scales pretty nicely. And if you were to take a Legends class wheelie, which, you know, is supposed to be super tiny, but imagine that this was a real sized car, then it works. It works great. There you have it. So that's Ultra Magnus compared scale wise. Now you're gonna wanna put the accessories on. So in terms of accessories, you have the two missiles. These two missiles will now go onto these front pegs. You can have them with whatever way you want, but I usually have the pegs either down or to the side. They're a little tough to get on there, to be honest. And getting them on will cause some of these to pop off, but you just need to realign. So that's it. Now, where would you put weapons? There's a lot of weapon storage here because, to be honest, this uses the 5mm port system a lot. In fact, you could deck him out with other weapons if you choose to do so. This hammer piece right here becomes like a double-barreled blaster thingy that you can place here on the side. You can do that. You can try to put it here, but it's not gonna look as nice. But there is a 5mm port there as well. I don't know why you want to do that, but you know, that's there for you to try. There's another one here, and there's another one here, and of course same on the other side. Most people would probably want to put them at the back, like most Ultra Magnus figures, but you can deck them out with it out with other weapons, weaponize it essentially because of the 5mm peg thing that it's got going on. And you've got this as well. You can put this on top, see, 5mm peg as well there, or you can put it off to the side. That's another option, or like this. So many options. There you go. But really I do prefer to just put it there up top. And there you have it. So that's Ultra Magnus from Mech Fans Toys, a knockoff of the Iron Factory version, a comics version. And I'm really glad I have this toy. This is one of the coolest Ultra Magnus figures that I've ever seen coming from a third-party company. Still available readily if you're in the Philippines. This particular box is still available in Mr. DIY, but if you'd rather purchase the other box or the other colors, they're available in Lazada and Shopee as well, and in your regular online stores where you buy Transformers. Thank you for joining X's Toy Review. Till next time, peace out.